What's going on, everybody? Hey, welcome back. We are back for ReZero, episode 13, I think. 13. I don't know what happened last time. Memory completely wiped. No, I'm just joking, of course. Regulus got. Finally. The rat is gone. No, that would actually be rat slander. I don't want a rat slander. Yeah, I mean, he's kind of done right now. So, there's one comment actually that I read that was really cool from last episode, which is that it is a very symbolic moment to have Subaru reach out with his unseen hand that used to be the symbol of destruction, right? And also kind of almost low-key a symbol of something that brought Emilia's basically father-in-law, more or less, to his knees and destroyed him. To do something good this time and help her free herself of Regulus's control, right? Set her free in a way. And for Subaru as well, to have something that he has associated so heavily with Betelgeuse, with this negative madness and like that, despair, to actually be useful in rescuing somebody he really cares about. But there's so much symbolism in that moment. Really cool. And I think it also says a lot about the nature of the sins, if you think about it. Apparently, like, Slav has become a nesting ground, or like Subaru has become a nesting ground for Slav, right? As we see, right, that the thing is inside, he can use the unseen hand and whatnot. But so far, the way he has used it both times, it has been in a very positive manner. So in a way, you can almost read that as a metaphor for the fact that you can use things that might be a little bit ugly, right? Like characteristics of humanity that in excess is something really bad and terrible. You can take them, little pinches of them, and use them towards a morally good end, right? There's a little bit of greed in all of us. There's a little bit of sloth in all of us. There's a lot of sloth in some of us. There's a little bit of jealousy and envy in all of us, right? There's vanity in some of us. There is pride in a lot of us. There is lust in a lot of us. Looking at you anime fans. Especially the ReZero fans sometimes. Yeah, I know who I'm talking about. Yeah, you, exactly, you, right behind the screen. I'm talking to you. But in low doses, it makes us who we are, right? It is something inherently human. And it is not terrible to have flaws. And sometimes we can turn those flaws to our advantage. Right? These morally questionable things, we can turn them to our advantage and bring them towards a moral end. But as the sins show, of course, right, the archbishops and the witches, that if you bring whatever form of logic forms the sin that you are most representing to its most logical end conclusion, that is to its most extreme end conclusion too. That is the problem with it, right? That they can be so destructive if you overdo it. They can be so destructive if this is all that determines your entire being, that you build your entire existence on. As we've seen with Regulus right here, right? His greed taking over everything, right? And we did see a little glimpse of what could have been the originator of that. Being a little man, coveting something. And then through his power, through his authority, he killed all of the family members of his first wife. And he gotten what he wanted, but he didn't. He didn't really. Like, his first impression of love was that no matter what he did, she always I don't even know what the conclusion was that we came to, right? I think she was like, she never smiled, right? I will not end up alone. Maybe a desire not to be alone. A fear to be alone. And from that, the greed to get as many wives as you can, as many things as you can, as much prestige as you can, as many rights to yourself and character as you can. How can you see me ending up alone and laugh, saying I deserve it? Where is his first wife? He's talking to her here, right? She never laughed, no matter what I did. What she did was look at me with beautiful face of hers, killed her family, everyone who tried to approach her. So it was just the two of us and she never laughed. It wasn't that I couldn't make her laugh, she didn't need to laugh. This was beautiful, and without her love, so she didn't need to laugh. It's very interesting how the first impression she got, right? Probably maybe the first real love of his life, left such an impression on him that this is like the ideal he saw from then on. That I do wonder if this is where greed originated, or if he was always greed and he just met her. Either way, I think when she died, probably. She never laughed or sneered at him. She just took it. And from that point on, this is how he conceptualized love. Which is very scary if you think about it, right? What he paints here is a picture of somebody who is incredibly jealous. Very interesting how one sin and another can overlap, isn't it? I do wonder if the modern sins are actually just... I do wonder if that's the case. If, like, the end of the story is that the modern sins are diluted by envy. If, like, Satella killing all of the other sins and taking their power into herself, which is like the myth. If that led to all of the modern sins, right, the witch factors, as they have been passed on after Satella was banished, basically. That all of them have been kind of corrupted or diluted by envy, in a sense. And this is why the sins of the witches back then and the sins of the archbishops today do not add up. And some of them are different than they used to be. Or if this is just simply the characters of the people interacting with the witch factor. That can obviously also be the case, and that's that. But I do wonder if there's some truth to that. But yeah, Liliana had a great moment too last time. We watched a double episode. This time we only have time for one, unfortunately. Sorry to say. But let's boom, get it on the screen. There's a lot of blood here. Hello? What? Hello? I think it might be about Garfiel if we are to believe the preview or like the last shot of the last episode. But yeah, maybe also Willem and his wife. I don't know. We'll see. Let's get this party started. 3, 2, 1. Oh yes, this is Garfiel. And he's bloody. Alright, lock in, lock in. God, we need to show off. Shut up, Elsa. Pesky conscience. He killed them. He doesn't want anything to come in between their duel. This is like a Pokemon in action, dude. Ooh. That was like 3 or 4 levels. Honestly, there's nothing better than an OP or a music track that tracks perfectly with the movements and animation you see on screen. It's just absolutely cool. Alright, let's get into it! Oh god. Oh yeah, we had the dragons coming in, didn't we? Let's go. Poor water dragons, to be honest. They're gonna get killed. You should all hurry a little bit. Sorcerer? He's gonna come out any second. Gonna be like, delicious. Or maybe he's like... Poor bastards. It's a meteor, by the way, not a meteor. The bravery. I mean, she's got the blessing of the wind, doesn't she? It's like, I didn't sign up for this. What do you mean? Interesting. He's a sorcerer of some sort, huh? Or maybe he's the monk type. Prod. Poke. Time for a race, Otto. Honestly. You deserve one. Ooh, is this L? Damn. Shadow puppet dancing. Oof. Yeah, I agree. Scheme in the shadows. Oh, you didn't? Things are not going according to plan. Did he? Oh wait, did Al open the water gate? I don't even remember that. Bro's like, shut the fuck up. What the fuck is this response, Al? Is she gonna turn into Priscilla? Is she like able to read people? Or is it more just... of course it makes him sick. Alright. But it's not the real thing, is it, Al? Ooh, interesting. Alright, Al? Do you have like multiple personalities? What's going on now? Or is he just literally really good at tricking her, basically? So he's just playing it off. Holy shit, that is a picture. Holy. He can do magic? Oh yeah, Earth, right? Or is it Earth? I don't even know. Cut it off now. Kill it with fire. Algoa, please. It's like even more work. stars are so bad today. Very interesting how he talks, right? Sometimes a little bit like Subaru, and sometimes he's just like doing star references and whatnot, and like, I mean, I guess he comes from the same place Subaru does, but still, like the weird, quirky way he just responded there earlier. 8 arms core gun. From Legends. The many-armed tribe. Okay. Lack of magic affinity. Alright. Defended his people. 8 is Lord. But he stood up for them. Devil cleavers. Like Reinhardt with his sword. Although for Reinhardt it's the sword's will. Interesting that both of them are not talking, right? Theresia and him. Theresia and him are not talking. Are they even capable, right? Because they might be like revived corpses. Let's go, my dude. I think it's really cool how he like deliberately uses parts of his shifting power and not all of it and not constantly. He learned a lot. Yeah, I mean obviously vision blocked. Bro, having 8 arms is unfair, my dude. Fight! Come on, Tatakai. Damn it. Really shaky. Damn, he crashed into one of the shelters. Bro, just do it. What the fuck are these whispers, my dude? Bro, just do it. I know it's hard. Yeah, you're not bad for doing it. You're not her. Yes, you're not. Is he cheering? They're all fired up. It's gonna be hard. Not a lot of space in here. Newfound confidence, though. Sword number... Ooh, we got 4. Is it 4 or 3? It's 4, right? Right, you go, Garfiel, my boy. Take heart. This is gonna be hard. Ooh, nice animation. Holy shit. Oh, this is cool. This reminds me, like, one of the shots just reminded me of Jujutsu Kaisen, to be honest. That was really cool. Oh, they're going all out with this fisheye lens shot. Ooh, he's going with his earth magic, right? Ooh. Holy shit. That is badass. A tough mountain to climb, huh? Or not, holy shit. A warrior's acclaim. And he could speak, he just didn't. I do wonder what that means for Theresia. This is what it's all about right now, right? Resolve. Especially for Garfiel. But also for everybody else. It's almost like we're being tested on multiple levels, each for their own challenges. Don't be, yeah. Theme for Garfiel, theme for Subaru, even for Emida to a degree, right? Because she couldn't stand up against people like Regulus alone. You have an after credit? The way that you're seeing this. The way that you're seeing it like this. A bit of a shame. Holy shit. That took more out of him than we thought. Ooh, we're still not done. What the fuck? Okay, new introduction. Hmm. For him, it's a desecration, right? A desecration for... Sorry, I had to resync for a second. I accidentally ended one of the recordings. Yeah, kind of a desecration for the memory of his wife as well. Let's just... I'm gonna put up the screen now. Let's talk about it a little bit. There's not much I think we can talk about aside from what we already said. This is ultimately a story about resolve, right? It is a story about continuous self-doubt coming in. Look how tiny she is compared to him. I love how, like, the eye shots that are happening, but also just these, right? The difference in size is enormous, despite the fact that, like, he is such a big dude, like Korgan 8 arms, and Garfiel in his tiger form is even bigger. But we saw that in season 2 already. It's a lot of cool artistic, but look at that. That's a funny frame that I just started. Like we abstracted to the max here. All right, look. These are done on a time crunch. Sometimes we can. That's okay. We're moving fast. We don't need the super high detail. Very cool though, how we're like. I mean the main piece of animation is later on, but we're basically setting the stage here, right? We're separating Willem and Garfield on multiple levels. But we're stepping into multiple fights as well. Really interesting and cool again with like the rhythm of how we direct things, right? Otto with the heel click and then the water springs up and suddenly the water dragons are coming in. He's taking it up all of the space and the finger is in the front. It's like it's his moment. Right. Otto continuously just being humble and underappreciating himself, but being the person who kind of fixes things, right? Being the person who has good ideas and interesting plots and schemes. It's not that easy. But we have a media that could rival Reinhardt or give him difficulty, which is like, holy shit, okay. I mean, that could be a cool plot device later on. Can't believe he's like called Gaston. Like some kind of like French chef or something. Yeah. Appetizers. He's like with his weird squiggly like stalker-esque figure basically. But he's got a trick up his sleeve too. A mana flow. I don't think it's magic. I think it's, like I said, like some kind of like monk, D&D monk style kind of deal. Just really fun and cool. So he's always fighting with his fists apparently, at least from what it looks like. You wonder why he didn't use it against Subaru back in season 1, but maybe he hasn't been trained before that. With that girl gone, yes, that leaves 3 Rui would like. Those 3 was Rui. And why would she like it? Is that one of his like memories that he ate up? Been flown in more fights this year alone than an average grunt. What kind of merchant does that make me? You are underpaid. That's what I said, but it's true. I really love how we're starting with shadows. We're not even seeing them fighting directly. We're just seeing the shadows on the wall. And then we change into shadowy figures that are them specifically, though. Really cool. Al has quite the skill holding himself against her continuously. She can shapeshift. She can like... She's got skills, and he's pretty damn good. I mean, I know why he's Priscilla's knight. Are all people who scheme in the shadows like that? I wonder. Not dressing up your words, being blunt. The asshole who opened the water gate. And she's like, you did that, didn't you? Why did he do that? How did he do it? How did he know? How did he know? Right, with the media and Emilia being surprised when she's opening it up and it's actually him and he has killed all the cultists. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Cool cinematic piece. We're transitioning between two people who are standing opposite of each other, a little bit away from each other, talking. And we use that pillar to separate them, as in their viewpoints and realities. Classic trick. Yeah, of course he's playing dumb. My sublime love will take in even the likes of you. As long as you take off that helmet, show me your face. Take me to bed and love me, that is. And now he's Subaru. He's Subaru. He's literally acting like Subaru. He's like, oh, Hazukashi. I'm sorry about that. Gomenasai. He's like being all shy. Like, not actually shy, but playing shy. Don't think I'm too bad an option for that. Has she just read that and mistakenly read that? Because for me it was immediately clear that he's just fucking with her, but maybe she's actually really... I was gonna say maybe she's bad at reading people, but she can't be, right? Because a couple of seconds later she turns into Priscilla despite supposedly never having seen her. I mean, I don't know if Al is actually into Priscilla or if he's following her out of some kind of like other connection that he has to her. Not blonde, not red. And he's like, that makes me sick, which kind of gives you the feeling of like he has an emotional connection to the princess. So he's like, you pretending to be her makes me sick. But she basically was able to almost perfectly imitate her by seeing Al and who he is. Any move you make, I won't miss. I'm the type who gives it my all. Right? Body language. Lust all being about body language makes sense, right? About reactions. Emotional reactions too. But it's interesting how she's trying, despite his clear like disgust with her or his clear like rejection of her and them being at opposite sides, she's still trying kind of almost seduce him. Even if she's just maybe playing with him or whatever, it's almost like she has that need to be liked by everybody, right? To be coveted by everybody. It's supposed to be exactly what you're into. Yeah, but it's not the real thing. And he's aware of that. So why would it work? It didn't work for Subaru either, even though he was shocked, obviously. This world ain't ready for that kind of love yet. What do you mean by that, Al? What do you mean by that? Yet? Not sure what you mean. So what is it about me that you don't like? She can't get into her head. Almost like she... I don't love or hate you. I don't even care. Sorry, I lied. You're disgusting, and so I hate you. It's like he has multiple personalities inside of him, right? I mean, either he's just bullshitting her constantly, or like the way he's changing, and also his voice changes and his attitude changes with it, right? Like the undertones he uses. It's so split, right? It's so fractured almost, right? It seems like he's jumping back and forth between different personalities, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde style. And I don't know if it's just him fucking with her, basically, or if it's literally just who he is and how he acts. Very, very funny how she's just like being Aqua basically here from Konosuba. Holy shit. You ain't never seen Priscilla like this. You would never see her like this, honestly. Dona. I do wonder what Dona is. I think it's wind, right? No, wait. Is that earth magic? Yeah, it's earth magic. That's Dona. And we cut off the head. Turn into filthy fireworks. Badass shot. And then Eldona. Yeah, Eldona is also earth magic. That ought to be enough. And holy shit, I still have to fight this bitch. What the fuck? What does it take? What does it take? Do not back down. How brave. My opinions of you skyrocketed. Sorry, but the princess smacked me on the ass and told me to take care of things. Yes, sure, a squiggly shape-shifting woman like you is scary, but ruining the princess mood is even scarier. And obviously, that is kind of infuriating her that he's still talking about somebody else. I really like how Garfiel in some of these situations is very tiny, right? Especially not in his tiger form. He's looking up to Kurgan, and Kurgan is like 2 feet above him, basically. We flash back shortly about like that discussion that we have about like his blades, right? And how he only takes them out when he sees somebody as worthy. Warrior's acclaim, right? And Garfiel's like, you still see me as a kid, you only have one blade out. Or maybe it's 2, I don't know. Well, no, it's 1. And this is when we start, mind you, right? Like he hurt his shoulder, basically. Really cool. Look at that, right? Being thrown back, regaining your footing, putting the feet out. This is a scrappy fight, a really scrappy one. But it's a cool one. Using earth magic, using everything in your way, basically. And he's throwing it here, right? Interrupting line of sight. Keeping him busy until he can break through and be, like, with a surprise attack, basically. He's overwhelming him in every situation, but he's never doing too much, which is very interesting. It's almost like he's continuously challenging him, right? Like, this guy apparently is like a living legend warrior kind of deal, right? So my question is, maybe that's just his warrior's code, basically, and despite maybe, I don't know, like, we know Theresia is probably a revived corpse, so maybe he is one too. So I do wonder if these corpses are revived, that the basic part of their personality is still in there, and they act according to it, even though they maybe can't refuse the general goal they are given, right? The task they are given. Maybe they can at least, they do it in a way that the actual person would do it, right? And in this case, it's like, I'm challenging you just enough, right? I'm getting you to the brink, but I'm not overwhelming you. And I'm slowly upping the ante. And him needing that emotional support of like just like seeing them again, right? And getting the cheers from the people. It's almost like back in the Sanctuary where people relied on him as the shield. And this too, right? Him having to overcome an enemy that he feels kind of ambivalent about killing because he doesn't know if that's the right thing to do. Because they used to be people as well, right? Like, but being in a situation that is super stressful and he needs to protect somebody. And this is the moment where he pulls through and does it. For the right reasons. And he kind of almost closes that chapter of his life where he's like, goodbye, Elsa. It was the same with you. Or maybe it wasn't the same with you. You're not her, right? Like that enemy, it wasn't Elsa. It's a different situation. Completely different here. Might still have my doubts about Elsa, but I knew back then it was the right decision to fight her. And even though I might have a little bit of a guilty conscience about killing her because this was one of my first real kills, right? This is not the same situation and I need to get my head out my ass and actually find a way to protect them. Really interesting and cool how he closes the gap in order to let it not flow over and kill them, I guess. We got the cheers. We got the match, the duel. He's waiting for the initiation. He's waiting for him. And he's seeing the gained confidence, the gained power from the mental. And he's pulling all four swords. An acknowledgement. And Garfiel is redefining his identity in his own eyes, right? Gorgeous tiger, the name he put on himself as like a spur of the moment, braggy kind of stupid kind of thing, but he's naming his real name as well, Garfiel Tinsel. And here we go with the incredible animation. Knee and fist, swords clashing with the arm guards, dodging and weaving. So cool. We squish the feet, we squish the arms. We have the flashes of the blades and some of these high detail shots coming into the camera. Right. Attack lines for effect. Short little pan of the people rooting for him, right? Witnessing this, and then we go back into the amazing animation. Tall as a tower, footstepping with power into the water. The scale of which is happening, right? All of the elements and the moving pieces of such an animation piece. It's so amazing because we need to, first of all, we need to show all of the things that are happening, but we also want to keep up this amazing momentum that's happening here. Right? Him coming from the ceiling, being blocked. We have the rotational shot. This is so cool. He comes in here, right? He's flying in here, but he has a drift. And we go in. And is he like ripping the eye out? I don't even know. But we have like so much dynamism in that shot. Getting a wound. We turn it again, right? Being hit by the sword into the water. Holy, look at that. Look at that. So many colors. Beautiful, almost like watercolor pieces. Pan past the feet because we need the feet in the shot as a big looming thing, right? As something like an agent of this guy's presence that is in the frame, in the screen. He's taking up places in the world. But we pan back to Garfiel with his response. He's gathering power. He's dodging the swords. He's bending. That. The world turning around them. The dance. If there's any scene that has ever really, well, it's not the only one, but one of the scenes, right? Any scene that has ever signified a dance, right? A fight as a dance. It's this. A bunch of other scenes that I remember too from other series, but this one stands out as well. Fish eye, all the water surface, all the upper surface of the shelter, right? Crazy angle. I don't even know if that angle would be possible in real life, but it has such a cool effect. And we go in. Red eyes, focused, locked in, all arms. Water splashing. Kicking the foot, doing the magic. First time, he's like, oh shit, there's this attack coming. I need to pay attention to that. Shit, he's coming in, right? Like, almost panicked, but not entirely. It's like more like challenged and focused. And then Garfiel coming in here being absolutely savage. That's how it's supposed to be, right? He lost his eye already. It's all the, like, it takes all of him here to repel these attacks, to pay attention and focus on everything. Garfiel breaking his arm guard here. Just like being like nerves and fibers that are hurting from the bone breaking in his arm, I think. I don't know, but I think, right? Just to like almost like a cross section of his bone. Underwater, right? Almost defeated, looking down, and then we look up and we go crazy with the animation, right? Everything gets squiggly. Red aura on the foot to signal like the transformation strength he's utilizing here, like with his magic. And we go into the tiger. Look at that. Dark and like black and red. Red and black. Red and yellow. Yellow, red. White and black. Black and red. Almost like a dragon even. The monster. Look at the fur. The implied fur. You can see the tiger in there in almost every one of these shots. But it's almost like a Rorschach painting. It's like very abstract. It's so cool. It's so cool. And we come in with the Ultra Instinct, with the muscle fibers being damaged, and he can't react at the right time because of that. 3 images. Fast as fuck, boy. Riding that wave. And now we're watercolored. We're watercolored. Everything just abstracts to maximum. Everything of that he is gone. And there's this moment where I was like, no, he's still standing. Shit. Actually, very good representation of how Tapei's writing style sometimes is, where it's like he stood up and the smoke cleared and he was suddenly fine. But it's like, no, wait. It actually wasn't like that. Tapei kind of writes like that sometimes. So it's very interesting that we actually see that writing style realized in visuals here. And the last thing is like magnificent. And I know of Garfield later, he's like, there's nothing magnificent about it, but I guess what he means is maybe he's still measuring himself to way too high a standard. Which in my eyes is like, he's like, the real Kurgan, the living legend, wouldn't have been toppled that easily. I think that's in the back of his mind. And to that I have to say, Garfield, my boy, stop being so fucking tough on yourself, right? Like, holy shit. That was a great feat you achieved. Both of them being so emotional and him collapsing. I wonder if they're alright. I wonder if if he's talking about the two of them. Or if it's more of a, I wonder if all of my friends are alright. Probably both, in a way. And here we'll set up this for next time. We have all the time we need for a reunion in the heavens above. He's like, we don't need to talk here. This is not really, like, this is not actually you. This is a disgrace of a corpse. And I think that's what he means when he says, like, you're so beautiful and this is why you shouldn't be here. I think what he means is, this is not okay that somebody used your corpse and actually revived it. Which is outgoing theory, is not 100% confirmed, but heavily suggested, of course. Though I do wonder in which way it got changed, because Theresia here is obviously super young. And when she died, she wasn't that young. She was more like middle-aged, so she already had Reinhard. And Reinhard was, I don't know, like, I think 7-8 years old or something. So yeah, I do wonder how that adds up. We'll see, I guess. And with that, I'd bring this episode to a close. I probably have a stream ahead of me soon. Would be cool, would be cool. I'll see you next time. Do like and subscribe if you like that reaction. Leave your own thoughts down there. I would love it. I would love to read all of your comments. I always love to read every comment. Be that, hey, I like this scene, or hey, I found this cool metaphor, I found this meaningful thing here, right? Yeah. I'll see you next time.